at it again, and the Democrats have a major problem on their hands. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
Let's bring in our Hispanic voter panel. Bianca Gracia, Pedro Rodriguez, and Sergio Rodriguez. They all join me now. Good morning to you all. So I guess the headline that's not so much of a headline at this point is former President Trump still in commanding lead. And Pedro, these polls are taken well after those 4 indictments came down. Does it surprise you that that has not hurt him whatsoever?
Absolutely not. For Hispanics, Trump's political persecution resonates with us. It reminds us of the political climate that occurs back home, where most candidates who speak out against the government and voice common concerns end up being politically persecuted, or even worse, their families end up being politically persecuted. What we see is, and I know I can speak on behalf of many Hispanics on that, what we see is a leader who's trying to expose the truth and trying to champion working class families. He's trying to do what's right, and he's being politically persecuted as a result. Us Hispanics can smell that from a mile away because we've experienced it.
Yeah, that's such an interesting point. Sergio, age has become a big topic of conversation right now. How do you feel about a 77-year-old former President Trump possibly going up against an 80-year-old President Biden?
I think that's always been a topic of debate within the Hispanic community, right? I believe that part of them would like to see someone younger like DeSantis. But at the end of the day, the point in the election is going to be the economy. And I think that that's what's going to be big for the Republican Party. 27 of the last 30 months, wages have been below inflation. That's an issue that the Democrats cannot run from.
It certainly is not. And Bianca, you know, the issue can't be run from, but you have the former president running on it in the form of Bidenomics. And you see the polling, the economy is still the #1 issue across the board, whatever group or, faction of America you're from. How is the economy working out for you right now? And do you think that this is a real weakness within the Democratic Party that Republicans can capitalize on?
Good morning, Fox and friends. And so I'm going to be crystal clear. As one of the founders of Latinos for Trump in 2016, I advocated and we were loud and clear that if we were given a platform, if we were allowed to be given airwaves and really communicate with our community, that we would get 60% of the vote for Trump. And this summer, a poll was done and people were asked, if you had to vote for someone today, who would it be for? 68% of the Hispanics said they would vote for Trump today. So here in Texas, I will tell you that our message is drill, baby, drill, and shut the border down, because the open border has affected our communities. And so we want to get back to work and we want to secure our nation. And the only thing we need to be working on right now is a ground game to ensure that we get him into that White House.
Yeah.
I love that last statement. I've touched on that in previous videos. Everything the Democrats do, we also need to do. Just because we're in the lead now doesn't mean we just need to sit back. Oh yeah, we got this in the bag. Okay. That's not what that means. Everything that Democrats are out there doing, we need to go right behind them and do the exact same thing. Every single one of us. Every single one of us. This isn't a time to be sitting on your hands like the Mitch McConnells of the world, right? I'm sure Mitch McConnell would love to keep the status quo. I don't know that with 100% certainty, but I can assume, right? I can assume. That's just my personal opinion. Got to put that disclaimer. But this is the time to push the pedal to the metal. Push the pedal to the metal, because the Democrats are going to come with something. They aren't going out like this. I'll tell you that now. And I know I keep saying this, but it's true. I'm still new to politics, okay? But even I know. I can see this from a mile away, a country mile. The Democrats are not going out like this. They are going, it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that easy. They're going to come up with something. They're going to pull something. They've got something up their sleeve, whether that's, creating another, rallying cry. Oh, the Republicans are going to take away your abortion rights. They're going to take away all your rights. Like they did in the midterms after Roe v. Wade was struck down, and you saw all of them out in the streets, all of the Democrats, oh no, they're gonna take away your rights. You gotta come out and vote. You know, there's gonna be something. Trust and believe me when I tell you that. I can almost guarantee it. If they went down this easily, I'd be shocked, utterly shocked, right? So we need to be pushing the pedal to the metal from now till election day. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everything Democrats do, we do too.
You know, Pedro, on the illegal immigration front that Bianca was just mentioning, what do you think about the Biden administration? This is big news this morning. The Biden administration is making work visas eligible for over 400,000 Venezuelan immigrants who were in this country illegally. What do you think about that?
Of course. So that only takes away from the credibility of legal immigrants. I personally was born in Venezuela, but I had to wait about 12 years to become an American citizen. I lived my early childhood in Brazil and then in Puerto Rico as well. And we finally moved because of the rise of socialism in Latin America to the United States. And we were naturalized as American citizens in 2019. I think giving out visas to all the Venezuelans that seek asylum is not the way to go. And it seems like Biden is just looking for an excuse to find votes from illegal immigrants and trying to make them legal so that they can vote for him.
Wow. Yeah, all these decisions are politically calculated, and I'm sure that they are made thinking that it would be welcome within the Hispanic community, but maybe they need to broaden out the folks that the Biden administration talks to include some of you. All great perspectives, Bianca, Pedro.
What would be absolutely hilarious is if they tried that, allowed all of these folks that are coming over the border to vote, and they all voted for Trump. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, would be absolutely hilarious. That would be some of the funniest stuff ever, because a lot of these folks have experienced exactly what's happening right now in this country. And we checked out a video from Ami Horowitz a while back where they stated just that. People in Venezuela said that they went through exactly what's happening in America right now. So a lot of these folks understand to see what's happening. But check this out.
I am joined now by national political correspondent Steve Kornacki to take us through all of the numbers. Steve, it's so great to have you here. A lot of headlines in this new poll.
Yeah, Kristen, and you mentioned an uphill climb for these Republican opponents of Donald Trump. Let's show folks from our new poll exactly how steep it is. Look at this. Donald Trump, brand new national poll of Republican primary voters, nearly 60% support the former president. His nearest rival, Ron DeSantis, more than...
And don't you find this, well, at least I found it interesting. Donald Trump's at basically 60%. If you added up all of these folks here, they don't even equal. Well, obviously you can't equal because he was over 60, but they don't even come close to his 60%. Not even close.
40 points behind him now. Obviously, you can see here nobody else in single digits. And look at the movement, too. From the start of the summer, we pulled this back in June. Trump seemed to have a dominant lead then. It has only gotten more dominant. From 43 now, it was not even 30 in June. And you can see here, we asked the question. I think this gets to the heart of it. We asked Republicans, should Donald Trump be the leader of your party? And now nearly 60% say yes. It wasn't quite 50 at the start of the summer.
Well, Stephen, what's so stunning about this number, a lot's happened since June. We're talking 2 more indictments against former President Trump, so 4 in total, and the first GOP primary debate. And yet, Mr. Trump is just solidifying his lead with GOP voters.
And Kristen, you know this from talking to Republican critics of Trump from rival campaigns. Everything you just explained, they thought would take him down a peg this summer. And instead, he has only moved up here. You can see the numbers saying the party needs a new leader. That has gone down. So for Donald Trump there, nothing but good news. And it raises this question. If Republicans go forward and nominate Trump again, this is what the rematch in our poll would look like right now. 46-46. And you remember, in 2020, Joe Biden actually won the popular vote by more than 4 points. And how about this? DeSantis, who sort of pitched himself as the electable version of Trump to Republicans, fares worse against Biden than Trump does. We also tested Nikki Haley, the former UN ambassador. She actually leads Joe Biden by 5 in our poll.
This is notable because she had such a strong showing in the first primary debate. Could that be the reason we're seeing this bump, Steve?
Possible. Let's put a pin in this one, though, because one thing our poll found, she's not nearly as well known as Trump and DeSantis. So more attention, more scrutiny, more attacks. Would this hold up? We'll see. But obviously, the fact that the president is struggling this much against every Republican we put him up against raises the question. Where is that coming from? The most obvious answer is just this, a simple question of job approval. Barely 40% approve of Joe Biden's performance.
And we have to note, 56%. That's the highest disapproval rating for President Biden since he took office. That's significant.
Yeah, so let's take a look at what's driving that, too, here. In one big area, no surprise, it is the economy. Look at this contrast. This is April of 21, months after Biden took office. Nearly half the country was satisfied with where the economy was then. Now, barely 1 in 4 Americans satisfied with the economy. There's also this. We found an enthusiasm gap between the two parties. We asked folks on a scale of 1 to 10, how enthusiastic are you about the presidential election? And you can see Republican to Democrat, there is a gap right there.
Republicans should be at 100%. I don't understand how Republicans are only at 75. That's got to change. That's got to change. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comment section why you think Republicans are at 75, but that's got to change. That should be at 100%. 100%. I understand why Democrats are lower. And this is why, I gave kudos to Donald Trump in his recent interview. And all of his interviews, really, because he hasn't given the Democrats anything to bring this number up behind. He hasn't given them anything to rally behind. And I saw people criticizing Trump because he didn't say certain things that they thought he should have said. And it's like, well, duh, he didn't. Because this number would go from 68 to like 90% overnight if he did. He's playing chess, not checkers. I feel like that is clear. Now, maybe I'm an imbecile because I'm still new to politics. Maybe I'm an idiot. Y'all can let me know. But I feel like Donald Trump is playing chess, not checkers. He understands what's at stake. And so he's making sure that he's strategic in what he says and what he does. Rightfully so. I call it Trump 2.0. This guy's a genius. He's moving correctly. He's moving the way that I personally expect him to move, or I expect someone who really wants to win to move. And we could talk about, he didn't say this or he did say that. None of that matters if you don't get elected. All of that goes out the window. Right? So I think that's something that we also have to keep in mind, when we see these interviews with Trump, because he's going to come out and do more interviews. And some people are going to be upset because he didn't say certain things or did say others, because, of course, they try to get him in a gotcha moment. It's happened almost every single time, in my humble opinion, in these interviews where the interviewer tries to get a gotcha moment out of it. They try to get some type of sound bite. Right, that the Democrats can rally behind, and he hasn't given it to them this entire time. So there's going to be more where they're going to try to do it, and he's not going to say something that some Republicans think he should say, or he does say something that Republicans think he shouldn't say, and I feel like he's playing a game of chess. I call me an idiot. Maybe I am. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comment section, but that's just how I personally feel about it. But his support has only grown this entire time, and proof is here in these clips. Check it out.
When are you guys gonna learn? The more you indict, the more we unite. Facts. It's Trump 2024. We don't care. You heard me? We already made our mind up. You already know when the hood got your back. Man, they deep in the hood. Gangsters hollering about Trump 2024. You heard me? Whoop, whoop. Wah. Gangsters. The hood got this man back. I'm just trying to tell you. You heard me? And we ain't stupid, man. American people, man. We ain't all them talking about lockdowns and back when the mask and all that. They got a new virus coming and it's gonna be, man, nobody don't care. Ain't fooling nobody no more with none of that. New jab. Ain't nobody being fooled no more. We all the way up. You heard me? It's Trump 2024. That's what it's gonna be, because we ain't having nothing else.
And I've showed you guys that clip, but I thought it really resonated especially today, because of what we're talking about and how, some people are really shocked at why Trump is still going up in the polls. And there you have it. The more you indict, the more we unite. I showed you guys the clip of when he was going to Georgia or in Georgia, and you had black people who have voted Democrat at over a 90% clip cheering for Trump as he's passing through in the motorcade. Cheering for Trump. Cheering.
A lot of y'all who voted Democrat, who had issues with Trump, not even that you even know why you had your issues, just the media pushed it, and so you guys hated him. All right, it's all good. But at some point, many of y'all have changed your mind. And you now support Trump, but you're doing it on the sneak. Come on, y'all. Let's own up to it so that we can all support this man together.
And I've got more clips like that as well, of course. But I'm going to spare y'all that today. I'm going to get y'all out of here. Okay? But that is the sentiment of the American people. We want Trump and nothing else. We won't allow you to try to push someone else upon us. And I think that's one of the big problems that DeSantis has run into, which y'all know how I feel about DeSantis. I'm not a fan of DeSantis anymore anyway. But that's one of the big problems he's run into because the people have spoken already. And now we're looking at, all of these folks. And, Trump said something recently that I can really get behind. Trump said, instead of us all running against each other, and he was talking to, the Republicans, DeSantis, Vivek, Haley, yada, yada, the whole list. He said, instead of us all running against each other, why don't we all unite? We all have a common goal. At least I would hope they all have a common goal. We can speak about that, I'd beg to differ. Some of them probably have some different goals in mind. But you would hope as a Republican you have a common goal, and that's to defeat Joe Biden, evil Joe Biden. So he said, let's all unite and take down Joe Biden. And as far as I've seen, you know how many Republicans that are running responded to that? The leader of the party, the leader in the polls, 60%, 0. I just find that interesting. I just find that very interesting that nobody said anything. When the polls bear out that you have no shot. You have 0 shot. Trump could be underneath the jail. We're going to write him in. Okay? You have no shot. So listen, maybe I'm just not understanding because I'm too new. And I'm sure there's other reasons why they're still running. Maybe book deals or something else. But could somebody let me know, why are these folks still running? Why are they still taking in donations from these big donors and wasting money on ads for nothing? You've got no shot. Trump's done this the entire time. The only person that's come up recently is Nikki Haley. Vivek was up for a while and now he's back down. I think the last poll said he was polling at 2%. So he's got no shot anymore. I think Nikki Haley's only polling at 7%. DeSantis is the closest at 16? Trump's at 60. 16 to 60. I mean, math is clear there. I mean, I wasn't the brightest when it came to math, but that one's easy. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Somebody explain that one to me. I'm confused because from my perspective, I would think they would all drop out and say, no, we're getting behind who the people say they want. We're going to support this guy. All of the money that you guys were sending to our campaigns, let's put it behind this guy. Because there's a lot at stake right now. And we must win. So this little bit of money that you guys are donating to me for another campaign, the next time, it's going to mean absolutely nothing if we lose. We must win. Like, from my perspective, that's what I'm thinking about. But like I said, maybe I'm an idiot. Y'all let me know. Somebody explain it to me, please. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.